Hari Om, let's look at the next mantra, and it's mantra 2122A, Ida Pingala and Sushumna. And absolutely repeating myself, I have in Pranayama more detail, I'll dive and look on it. So here there will be this mantra, Sanskrit translation and commentary provided in this book in respective of Yoga Chudamani Upanishad. However, check out my other videos for these topics, and specifically I also do specific practices for this. Ida Pingala and Sushumna. Evam dvara samashrita tishtante nadyach kramat. Ida Pingala Sushumnah Pranamarjecha Samshitan Satatam Prana Vahinyach Somasoryagni Devatach. Apologize for those who are reading Sanskrit. I do not. I'm reading the transliteration in English here, so it's probably not correct. So translation, that these nadis are dependent and located systematically in the various passages of the body. Ida Pingala and Sushumna are the paths of prana located in Soma, moon, Surya, sun, and Agni, fire, devatas. Devatas here is illumined divinities, which continue to move the prana. So just indication about Ida Pingala and Sushumna, and there's also the picture of it. So from Muladhara till the Ajna, we have all these 6 main chakras, and Ida Pingala cross in each of the chakras. So they crossing each other, come from Mula, then cross 4 times, and coming into the Ajna, this 2-petal representation of this chakra together. So let's read the commentary. Out of the 72 southern Nadis, the 3 most important are Ida Pingala and Sushumna. All the others are dependent upon them. Ida is the passive channel which is related with the moon or mental energy, so it is known as Chandra or Soma Nadi. And you know, we practice Chandra, yeah? Chandrasana, all these practices for the moon. The color of the Ida is blue, and it's negative or cooling current. In here, negative, it's not in terms of negative bad, it's the negative, it's as the opposite of the positive. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's the positive, and -1, -2, -3, it's the negative for that. Yep. Pingala is the active channel which is related with the sun or vital energy, so it's known as the Surya Nadi, so have moon and the sun. And it's quite often represented on some scriptures or on some chakra symbology, moon and sun together, yin and yang, as well symbol, I think, represented a similar concept. It's this duality together, and we cannot have the one without the other, we cannot have warm without the cool. So that's the meaning of the duality, yeah, the basic meaning. The color of Pingala is red, and it's a positive or heating current. It emerges from the left of Muladhara and Pingala from the right of Muladhara. They ascend the spinal pathway, alternatively crossing over each of the chakra points. So they're kind of switching. So as they say, either come from the left and then she goes to the right and then goes to the left again. So you can go through each of the chakra, visualizing where they are, and then trying to feel it, and you will feel it with your practice eventually. Ida Pingala Nadis represent the dual or manifest forces of life. That's what I say. In yogic term, they are also known as the channels of the manas or chitta shakti, the mental or consciousness force, and prana shakti, the vital or physical force. When Ida and Pingala are purified, regulated, and balanced, that's what we do through the practices, Sushumna Nadi, which represents the spiritual, unmanifested, or unconscious forces, begin to flow. So your awakening basically happens the moment your Ida Pingala nice and balanced, and all these magical things start happening with you, without you wanted it or not. Usually we do want this, it will happen to you. And sometimes it happens to the people or even children who not even practice yoga or not even aware of that. So there's a cases of like that. And some people might consider this as some kind of life experiences, blessings, opposite, curses, diseases, mental disbalances. Sometimes, in the past especially, people end up in clinic facilities or being treated by the drugs or something if they had this happen to them. In the modern world, we're more aware of these things, we know about this, there's the teachers who can guide you, so it's kind of like a little bit better in this sense. And the society also more open to these type of things for people with abilities, intuitions, siddhis, and we can direct it into a good channel and harvest benefits from it rather than suffer. Yeah? So this mantra relates Sushumna with Agni Devata, who represents the fiery, luminous quality of the spiritual force, which this Nadi channels. Sushumna flows straight up through the center of the spinal cord from Muladhara to Sahasrara and is silvery in color. In yoga, Sushumna is known as Atma Shakti, the spiritual force. It is the channel through which the ascending Kundalini must pass at the time of spiritual awakening. Therefore, the preparatory practices for Kundalini yoga involve purification and regulation of the Nadis in general, Ida and Pingala in particular, for the purpose of opening Sushumna. And one of the simplest ways, if you're not like even done Kriya Yoga yet, or you want to do, it's a little bit tricky to find some correct Kriya teacher, Kriya Yoga, and there's some variations. I personally practice and follow the Swami Satyananda, the practices Kriya Yoga provided. He has a book specifically about it, but if you just follow the book, you could not fully do it because the last Kriyas are not given there. They're only going to get you pass from teacher to teacher. So if you really want to pursue that, you have to find somebody related to that lineage and those who can teach you the Kriya practice. The moment you master them, the practice will take, the full practice takes about 3-4 hours. Depends on your abilities. You can do like a shorter version, about an hour and a half. That's what I practice. We only have time 3-4 hours when we're not bound by work, family, or we don't sleep at night. So when I had that time, I can practice the full one. It's an amazing experience, but otherwise you can practice a little bit faster. But there's also things like Nadis sadhana, for example, some asanas, very simple meditation. And in my chakra course, I have very good combination of, for each of the chakra and for these channels as well, practices for that. And just let me know if you're interested in particular pranayama practices to balance the Pingala and Sushumna. I was thinking to do record specific course about that. Just send me a comment if you're interested in these kind of things. This Nadi must be flowing if there is to be success in meditation. If Pingala flows predominantly, the body will restless. If Indala flows predominantly, the mind will be restless. When Sushumna flows, the mind enters a state of spontaneous absorption, and Kundalini, the spiritual force, rises through the chakras. And that's what's happened usually. I don't know, my personal experience with meditations, and I think the meditation itself, whatever practice you do, become as a true meditation, so I can straight away dive into the state which I needed and overcome all this, as I say, it's physical restlessness or the mind restlessness, which first thing people happening. It's only come to me after I think I properly dive into Kriya Yoga practices. Before that, my meditation was sometimes happened, sometimes not, or the body or the state was like that. It was like this state of when you're trying to meditate, but you feel like you're fighting the or falling asleep, or opposite, or running. So these things. And again, I told you that this is either Pingala, fighting. And only after just the severe practices, severe intensive practices, regular practices with Kriya, then no matter where I am, what's happening, I can straight away dive into this meditation now. Even before, I have to have like a good yoga practice, good pranayama, and then I can maybe go into my successful meditation. I would think so. But now, after you do practice your kriyas, you kind of get accustomed to this, straight away dive into this, so you can do it anywhere, anytime, no matter what's happening, what you've been doing just before. So think about it if you really want to progress fast in your yoga practice. What are you interested, yeah? Let's see the last commentary. In the physiological terms, Ida and Pingala correspond to the two aspects of autonomic nervous system. Pingala corresponds to the sympathetic nervous system, which speed up the heart, dilate the blood vessels, increase the respiration rate, and intensify the efficiency of the senses, thus extroverting the mind. Ida corresponds to the parasympathetic nervous system, which directly opposes the sympathetic nerves by reducing the heartbeat, constricting the blood vessels, slowing the respiration, and relaxing the system, so that the mind and senses become relaxed and introverted. And you see here, like sometimes people think that all yoga practice should be directed to this Ida state, when you're all relaxed, introverted. But this is the state which brings you to the sleepy moment, and you just dropping away and can't focus, concentrated. Same with true excitement as well. So you have to be in the middle. So not that, in the middle. And that's why sometimes people practice quite, not aggressive, but quite powerful yoga practices and they do same pranayamas, same this holotropic breathing, I think it's something like that, and they practice this. For example, Ashtanga yoga. Well, Ashtanga yoga have a slowing down the end. I do like sometimes practice Ashtanga yoga, but it's kind of very physical aspects of that. But the balance has to be there, so you not there, not there. So you're in between. You are perfectly balanced, and only then the sharpness in your meditation will come. This one-pointed awareness. That's the trick. And I absolutely with you. I know how it feels. It's or you're too energized, or you're absolutely sleepy, and it's hard to, bring yourself back. It's like you cannot, it's not meditation. It's kind of felt like a waste of your time on the mat. Yeah. I realized through my personal experience that only knowing this very specific guidance, and that's the school which I follow, which give me these abilities to I follow this instruction and it gives me straight to the point. There's no waste of time, whatever you're on the mat. So I really excited about it and trying to promote it. And so many people I see who are meditating every day. They're so dedicated. It's amazing the willpower, dedication of these people. But when they do meditate, what's happening on the mat that time? Is it constantly this fight between sleep and meditate, or it's constantly fight with the mind? And so many people come in, I can't calm my mind. I have these thoughts. I cannot get rid of them. Do not get rid of them. You don't need to. You never will get rid of them. You know who doesn't have thoughts in your mind? The dead body. So as long as you're a live person, you have visions, ears, impressions. You're gonna have thoughts in your mind. That's the abilities. That's the. It's like a computer. It's the point of the mind. So we cannot clear it. We can only see through. Learn to surpass. When you have children, you learn this quite fast. This constant background noise. One child, many children. There'll be the moment when you kind of it's not like you're ignorant, but you don't hear it as the noise. And if you have to concentrate, you're gonna listen through. That's kind of similar. It's very rough example, but that's kind of the closest state you can tap to. The flow of prana through Ida and Pingala is completely involuntarily and unconscious in most people. It only becomes conscious and subject to manipulation and control through systematic practice of Hatha and Kundalini yoga. Through these practices, the vital and mental forces are regulated and increased, which brings about eventually mastery over the body, mind, and opens the doors of the psychic and spiritual world. This phrase, paragraph, is super amazing. This basically everything sum up that I said before. I hope you very good luck on your journey. And remember, it doesn't have to be hard, long way. Hari Om.